We've just been at the Northern Ireland Country Sports Fair down at Moira. We've got a day to sort of bum around a bit and wait for our ferry, because our ferry isn't until 10 o'clock tonight, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and I've come to a small fishery just outside of Belfast. How far are we from Belfast?
Well, it only takes about half an hour to get, but our closest city is Lisburn. We're just 3 miles outside of Lisburn, and quite easy to find, not too far off the beaten track. It's quite central to most places. It's easy to get to.
And I'm talking to Catherine Boyce. Now, Catherine, how long have you had this fishery here?
We took the lake over 2 years ago, but the lake has been here for longer. It was dug out about 10 years ago, and it was extended 5 years ago to make a deeper part of the water. The lake is about 3 acres, and it's stocked with rainbow and steelheads. They go from £1.5 up to 17.5, 18 pounds.
If somebody wanted to come over from England, now obviously the locals know where you are, and I can see it's very well organised today, and you've got a lot of fishermen out being a bank holiday Monday. If somebody from England wanted to come over, how do they get to fish here?
They just come in and take a day ticket or whatever they want. If they want to take fish, they can take fish too. They can contact us on our website or contact us by the phone too. If they need any help looking for accommodation, we could also do that. Or if they just look through the Lisburn tourist information, there's plenty of bed and breakfast and lots of nice places to stay, which are local. There is accommodation on the farm, self-catering cottages, so you can make a nice break or a holiday.
When we were at the show yesterday, you were talking to somebody on the stand about fishing for recovery. What's that all about?
Casting for recovery is for ladies who have had breast cancer, and have maybe gone through surgery, and the exercise from fishing is extremely good for building small muscle tissue, and it's great to get them out in the fresh air, doing something different and just relaxing, and meeting other women who have also gone through the same thing and talking about their experiences and meeting new friends. So we were the first fishery to hold it in Ireland last year. This year they'll be coming back to us again in September, and they'll also be going to Mount Falcon in June in the south. So it's a very rewarding programme. It's great to see the ladies having such a good time. All their accommodation and meals are paid for. It's also sponsored by Countryside Alliance.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that some of the ladies that have been on the course have actually taken up fly fishing as a hobby.
Yes, they have. We have some of the ladies who come back to us who've maybe golf or something like that has been their hobby, and they find it, too hard to do now. It's too strenuous, so they've taken up the fly fishing because they use light rods and it's not strenuous, and you don't have to keep going. You can come and sit down, have a rest, have a cup of coffee, chat, a laugh, talk about all your fishing experiences, and they thoroughly enjoy it.
I've just had another fish, and I still haven't caught one yet, but there's fish beginning to rise on the surface, and I've just sat down and had a cup of coffee, and I'm sat down against a lady that's fishing here. Linda, you're telling me you're fishing for Ireland. When did you start doing that?
Well, I fished for Ireland last year over in Scotland for the Lake of Menteith, the international over there. That was my first international Before that, I took up the trout fishing the fly fishing about 4 or 5 years ago. That was after course fishing for over 20 years before that, mainly for pike. And we would have ran a pike club in Armagh, which had sort of pike club members. We had at least 70, 75 members, and we had like competitions every fortnight. And the pike seemed to be running a bit low on the ground. We were going out maybe 30 members, and pike seemed to be disappearing. And one day I was out fishing, course fishing, and I'd cast up and sat down and was watching my float and noticed someone fly fishing across the water, and I thought, now they look like they're having fun. They were constantly doing something. Even if they weren't catching fish, they were back and forward. There's someone with lovely fish there. And I thought, I'll have to give that a go. And I took one lesson. There was a ladies' day with 3 lessons down at one of the fisheries, and I went for that, and I have been fly fishing practically every day since. After work, straight down fishing, weekends, Saturdays and Sundays fishing, and then I started getting into competitions and never looked back. I just really enjoyed them. I love the fishing for something.
What do you have to do to qualify to fish for Ireland?
Right, you have to join. I joined the Irish Ladies Fly Fishing first of all, and then you're invited to trial for your country. There was 4 trials over the year. I joined midway through the year and my first trial was at Castlewellan Lakes, and I had ended up with the biggest fish. I had a really brilliant day's fishing, and I did well in my second trial, and I only got to fish 2 out of the 4 trials, and lo and behold I got called up. So I really, really enjoyed it. Now it was an experience. It's such a thrill. It was so scary. The night before over in Scotland, I was ready for packing up and coming home. I was just totally mortified with the whole idea of it. I think it was the idea of letting everyone down, the team down, and letting your country down and your family down. But I had good support with my boyfriend and that, and the next morning I was okay. Got suited and booted and ready, and it was lovely to be piped down to the lake with the national anthem. It was great, and I did okay. I caught my fish, and the first fish I had on the boat, my legs was shaking. I thought, I'm not going to land this, I'm not going to land it. And as soon as I got it into the net, then I enjoyed the rest of my day. It was fabulous, absolutely brilliant.
And how did the Irish team do that day?
Well, Ireland, they fished well. They came third. They're all internationals, and these women have a lot of experience. I was in the boat with a Welsh international, whose husband, I think, was the coach for the Welsh team. She was a lovely girl and a really good fisherwoman, and it was just a lovely, friendly atmosphere, but definitely competitive at the same time. I was very glad to get my first fish in, and pretty soon I had my second one on, and she caught as well, and I'm glad I did fish better that day. I ended up with more fish. I think I was just lucky, but it was great.
Why did you come to this little fishery?
It's absolutely brilliant here. I just love it. It's just such a friendly atmosphere. You come down and there's a bit of crack, a bit of banter, and I love that. My partner Brian, he's from Northumberland, and the first time I brought him here, he's been over here now for over a year, about 14 months. The first time I brought him here, he just loved it. He said, can we go back? Can we go back? It's just brilliant. You come down and you get your cup of tea and your yarn, and then you go out and have a fish for a while, and all of a sudden somebody can appear with a cup of tea for you halfway up the lake, and you'll have another bit of a crack. And the fishing's great. It's just look at it, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's surrounded by trees and wildlife, and every now and again you'll see the pot-bellied pigs running about. It's just lovely, and good quality fishing. It's fantastic.
If you're interested in coming down to Brookhall Fishery, the notes will be on the podcast. Just have a look, and I'll put the website on and the phone number. In busy times like bank holiday and that, do people need to book, or can they always get a day ticket?
No, we can get quite a few anglers around the lake, and you find that some people come out and only fish maybe in the morning, and then they'll leave again, so that there's a good turnover of people, and you usually find a spot. We'll squeeze you in somewhere.